Be-YOU-tiful. What do you think is beautiful? Do you listen to the TV or your phone? Do you think beauty is measured on how you look, like the photoshopped models in a book? Oh, what do you think is beautiful? No makeup. Oh no, it's the real you. What if your real beauty is inside? Be-YOU-tiful. You have nothing to hide, inside or outside. Be-YOU-tiful in a world where everything's trying to make you something else. Be-YOU-tiful in a world where they don't want you to be your true self. Be-YOU-tiful. Why do you try to fit in with everyone? Be-YOU-tiful and shine like the biggest and the brightest sun. Be-YOU-tiful even when in darkness, and you will find. Be-YOU-tiful and you will leave your old world behind. Be-YOU-tiful, it's not about being better than anyone. Be-YOU-tiful, you were created to be the only one. Be-YOU-tiful and you will see you don't need Hollywood to be a star. Be-YOU-tiful. That's all you have to do, is be the beautiful soul that you are. Okay, so I wrote that song that I've read now as a poem. If you look at my other videos, you'll know why. I've talked about my health condition, my thyroid, and I'm not singing at the moment. But I wrote that song for many reasons. One of the main was having teenage daughters and seeing what the outside world was doing to their perception of themselves, and seeing it in so many young girls. And I wrote that song as a little protest against this world and how we've from the get-go have been basically forced to be everything but who we are, who we truly are, the divine spark of who we truly are. And unfortunately, when I say this, be-YOU-tiful, people will think that either they don't have that beauty, either as how they look or on the inside, because so many people are so down on themselves, or they'll come at it from an egotistical point of view, from a programmed point of view. So we need to be coming at it from a level of the soul, of who we truly are, and that's a journey. And that's the hardest part of talking about things like this, is it's a journey and it doesn't just happen overnight. I still don't understand why it's not a tad easier, but I think that can be explained by a lot of darkness. So I chose this song today, this poem today, because you might be able to see in my face I've had a bit of an upset morning, thinking about a lot of things in my life and how things are going to be changing in the next year or so, quite a lot, in positive ways but in difficult ways and letting go ways. And it's been the Lionsgate portal. I've had my periods. I just did the last video on that frustration of still having that pain after 36 years every month, and the healing that I've done in so many ways, from naturopaths through to energy healing, through to emotional healing, through to mental healing. And so I'm having a bit of a day, and I want to put out there that you can be beautiful even when you're not having good days. You know, tomorrow is my sister's birthday, and she's passed away 30 years ago. The Lionsgate portal has been rough on me, which normally I don't get as affected by things like that, but I am. Maybe because I'm stepping into this part of my life, talking. Maybe because it's thinking about how am I going to get my voice out there, not just with all the people that are talking about all sorts of stuff, but with AI, with my books that I want to write, with the songs that I want to sing. With everything being taken over, I guess I've just been on a bit of a because I've been in my own world so much, coming out into this to do this and see what's happening has probably put me on a bit of a downer, I'd say. And I have to pick myself up again and understand that I am needed now more than ever. And I have been asking Divine Creator to get these videos out to the people who need them, who will need my voice. Because I'm pretty sure I haven't just done this for nothing, to sing my songs or read them to myself. I'm pretty sure I've done it to share. So I'm asking the Creator to help me in this process. So yeah, the last few days, I mean, it's the 10th of August today, so the last few days have not been wonderful, but healing never seems to be, does it? It's not a party in the park. In fact, as much as I've done and as much as I learn, I still think, why the hell did my soul choose this? After all the darkness I've been through and how slow it is to get back all of the things that I've lost on that journey, all the things that I tried so hard to create that I couldn't because of so much interference in my life. So yeah, I want to come on here and say, fuck it, I'm having a bad few days. And am I spiritual enough because I'm having a bad few days? You know, we've got so many voices out there now telling us all how we should be. And the one voice that we need to listen to is our own inner soul voice, higher self, whatever you want to call it. And so today I'm saying, be beautiful. Hang on a second. Be you. Tiful. Be you. And that doesn't mean be the egotistical part of you, but I mean, look, you know, it happens. You know, we are in a world that is difficult at the moment. It's difficult. I don't know if it matters really who you are. I mean, if I was a monk in a monastery, maybe, you know, but I've had children. I've lived in the real world. I've had to deal with real world things. I've had to deal with a whole lot of darkness that I didn't even know I was in a war with. I didn't even know as a physical being here. Could never work out, why don't things work out for me? Another one I'm going to be doing healing on, because I always remember my mum saying, geez, you don't have much luck, kid, do you? Apart from, you know, probably because you're married to a narcissist and that doesn't really help. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I constantly want to filter myself to say the right spiritual stuff. Am I spiritual enough yet? Am I saying the right thing? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? Like my karma video, what if I'm wrong? And there really is karma. And all those people for all those times were correct. And I believe as I said in that video, on some levels, I do believe there's karma. But on many levels, I don't. And I think that's what we're working through now. We are working through different levels of consciousness and creation. And yeah, seeing it play out. I'm Libra. I'm justice. And some people say, oh, people own their star sign. I literally, even if I was to go into the 13 star signs with a Fucus, I think it is the 13th star sign, because there are 13 moons, right? It never made sense to me why we have 13 period cycles in a year, women, why there's 13 moons, and yet there's 12 months of the year. And when you look into time, there's plenty of videos out there about the truth about time and what they've done to it to keep us in a pattern that suits productivity, but not pushing us to where we can't be productive for the matrix, the what would you call this world, the things that happen here? I just call it the matrix, you know. The cogs, we're the workers. Keep it turning. So we forget who we really are. And so I've done this video because I'm kind of stuck in between two worlds at the moment. I'm going to be really honest here. I have watched a lot of stuff with David Icke and that sort of content through my journey, not necessarily recently, and then I've gone on the path of the other side of spiritual healing, you know, like the karma and the you know, cause and effect and the manifestation and even the stuff that Tracy taught. And I believe there's room for both in this world, because the darkness can stop manifestation, can cause it to look like you are having multiple lots of karma. And I'm sort of in this place of shifting another level of consciousness, I think, where I'll be sitting in a place that I'll see it all differently and clearer. I'll actually know it. And this one's taken a little while. I got to be honest. It's taken a little while, and I go backwards and forwards. And that's probably the angst I have in putting these videos out, is I'm not 100% sure yet. Will I ever be? Will we ever be? Because I think we're in this crazy time, where there's so much interference and so many people who think they know it all, spiritually and that, and have their own connections and have their own channels. And then when you're sort of here just going by your inner light and your inner guidance, you're not listening to a channel. I do soul writing. I can channel God. I can connect with Divine Creator. And sometimes that comes through while I'm just in the shower or laying in bed. But I find there's times where it happens more than others. So, and also, I don't believe God is there to tell us what we need to do every step of the way. Divine Creator is there to tell us what to do every step of the way. I believe that we have an inner knowing, and we kind of lose that ability. That's my dog barking because my husband's home. We kind of lose that inner ability to connect with ourselves, because we're always looking for something outside of us. And at the end of the day, God is part of us. Divine Creator is part of us anyway. So when we're connecting with ourselves, we are connecting with the divine. I'm just going to pause this for a second. Who would have thunk it? As soon as I paused it, he stopped barking. I gotta love it. But anyway, this is me in... Sorry, you're just going to have to deal with it, because he's probably going to keep going until my husband gets inside. Why you bark at your own family, I really don't know. But anyway, he's excited. But yeah, I think I'm in my own stage of another shift right now. And in many ways, even in what's happening in my own life, even though it's not fighting the darkness the same anymore. Well, fighting. Didn't even know what I was fighting. Didn't know I was fighting, really. I mean, in the end I did, but now it's more shifting into what do I actually want to create now that all the hell is over. And today it was difficult because I got a message. I don't have my my notifications on quite often, and I got a message from my daughter on Instagram about I've had my first grandchild. And she had written about how it was just something like a little snippet that she'd sent to me, somebody else had written, but understanding what it's like now to be a mum and what you've given up for your children and the times you've cried for your children, and it just really is a letting go constantly. And the thought of that next phase of letting go as we move on with our life and they move on with theirs, because people are going to be moving and things are going to be happening. And it got to me. Probably because I've got my periods as well, but it is constantly letting go. That's what life is. That's what being a mum is. All different stages that they go through. And I think today it kind of hit me. So I want to be truthful on this channel. And it's not weak to be sensitive, you know? It's not weak to be sensitive and to let your feelings out. And that's another thing that I'm going to bring forth on this channel. And I've met the people who just cry over everything all the time. I'm not talking about that sort of person who something doesn't go their way and they just crack it. And I'm talking about true sensitive people who this world is extremely difficult for. And now he wants to come down here. Hang on. Okay, all these interruptions today is just the way that I'm feeling at the moment. Is like, stop. Normally I'm quite like, oh yeah, whatever. But today it's like, goodness me. Anyway, Ollie, our dog, is in here with me now, so he's happy. Normally he does stay in here with me. Lucky for your sake he wasn't when he started barking, because he would have scared the heck out of everyone. But yeah, so this video is about that, is about all of it. I'm being Be-YOU-tiful. And that's why I've done this poem today, because so what? I get tears in my eyes, so what? I cry. So what? So what? Everything was messed up today, and the dog barked, and then I had to stop it and stop it again and stop it again. You won't know. I mean, you do know because I'm telling you, but I can put it all together and make it look good. Now we can do whatever we want. We can make it look wonderful. We can be as fake as we want. And that's not being fake. That'll just cut out all the BS for you guys. But yeah, today I just want to be authentic. I'm looking at my soul sprays up there, and I thought, I've got authenticity. And I thought, yeah, that's what I want to do. And get out there to the people that really need to see this, that it's not easy, you're not alone. It's not a matter of always sitting with your stuff and being. It's not a matter of healing it. It's not. There's different ways for different times, I believe, and there's time for truth when it really does suck and it really does hurt, and you really got to be honest with yourself. And then you got to probably sit with it or heal it, and then move on, or just let it come out. Let it come out. Let go. So I think today, like I say, my sister's birthday would have been tomorrow, and she would have turned 50 years old. And so I look back at all the things that I've had to let go of. And it's kind of weird putting this song into that context, because I kind of thought, I should write a song about that, about letting go. And I thought, I'm not forcing myself to do that. My songs have always come up because they came up, and because I forced something. So whoever's watching, tell me what you think and what you feel. And I hope that this video has allowed you to be you-tiful, be a bit more of yourself, and stop trying to be something else, whether that's spiritual, whether that's out in the community. Be a better person, be this, be that. Just be you. We have so many things trying to make us something that we're not. And anyway, if you do things that aren't coming from your heart, you're coming from your heart, great. If you do things that aren't coming from your heart just because you might get points with the creator or something, it's not truth anyway. That's another thing that I'd like to talk about, truth, because so many people think that they can kind of fool the divine. If I do this, I've seen people who, do all the right things in certain ways, and then they're not like that. People that, I remember a friend that I had talked about how her dad would beat them and make them kneel on rice, beat them with a fishing rod, like hit them with a fishing rod, partly because of where they lived and the fear of being things happening to them. So he feared them so that they would stay inside and do what they were told. And but then he would go to church on the Sunday and act like what, wonderful being, loving of his family. Great. And I think, it's just what we see is not what people are quite often. I want to be who I am, and today's been a difficult one, and I never thought I'd put this song, this poem, in this context, but here I am. It was the one that I kept on thinking about, so it's the one that I'm doing. So yeah, be you-tiful, be yourself. And if you haven't discovered who that is yet, not your ego self, your true self, then sit with it. Do the things that bring you joy. Not distraction, but joy. Do the things that are you. And then also just be sometimes. Just sit with yourself. Because there's so many distractions that are trying to, in a world that's trying to make you something else, they're trying to make you something else. So sit with yourself and be okay with it. I think that's it for today. Not going to be a super long one. Few interruptions. And yeah, I'll just pop this one up and know that this matrix can only get to you if you allow it. And as you shift in your frequency and your vibration, and all the stuff comes up, like it has for me over the last few days, particularly today, let it. As hard as it is, let it. And if you're like me, you're like, I've let it so many times, I'm over letting it. Because sometimes we just want to, especially when you've been through a lot, you just want to say, just stop so I can just get on with something, my life was so taken up by other things, by darkness, by dealing with the effects of darkness primarily, and so there's sometimes an urgency in me to just get things done, but my body needs time and I need time, and I'm being myself. I'm being where I'm at, even if sometimes I don't like it. I step back and be in that space. Because really I can only be in that space if that's where I'm at. Trying to be something else or somewhere else or ahead of it, or I've just got to be here. Again. But each time the level of consciousness has changed, so it's different each time. Sometimes it's more infuriating because it's I've been doing it for so long. And other times I'm more patient with it. Just depends really on the situation. But yeah, a lot of letting go. There'll be a lot of letting go just generally in the world. A lot of letting go. And being just true self. And finding that if you don't know what that is. And I know these concepts are easy to say. And they're not easy to do. I've lived it. But I would like to say that entity interference is, again, at the root of everything, because we live in a very trauma-charged world, very judgmental world, very divided world, everything, and that's what they are trying to get. That's where they get in. So it's by design, but also the more that they do to try to stop it, the more that they show themselves. The more that they show themselves, the more that we need practitioners who can help people release them, which will be my job in the future. But as I say now, at this point in time, I'm sitting with the uncomfortableness of this place that I'm in right now. And I would say because I don't have a choice, I could go and do things and distract myself. But I know that's not in my highest good at the moment. This is talking about it, being truthful about it. I think you get the gist. Sometimes I go on a bit, but I think sometimes people need to hear it a couple of times maybe. Because sometimes it takes a while for it to sit in. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day and this Lionsgate portal has maybe been good to you, but if it hasn't, I'm on the same page, and as things shift and change, we go to our next place, a next level of knowing being the being, next level of being the being that we come here to be, being even more beautiful. Okay guys, thanks again for being here, and if you would like to subscribe, share, like, that would be wonderful. Thanks again. Bye.